Yay! So it seems to be, my broadcast seems to be working. So, sorry guys for, I am sans makeup. Lipstick is my only makeup. And I hope the stream is working. Let me see if anyone comes in. Says it's working. My internet's working. Hey Noelle, so it is working. How are you? Thank you. On and clear. Hey Francois. Hello. I hope you guys are doing well. The last video I made, I thought I was on live stream. Hi. But I guess it didn't live stream, so I just put it up. I apologize, Hi Legacy, South Africa, for my appearance. I am sans makeup, guys. This is me with no eyebrows and just lipstick. And just kind of at home. And hi Shock, thank you. I hope I'm well too. I came on to speak to you guys because I don't know, I'm actually kind of worried. My mom called me a little while ago and she was crying. Her best friend tested positive for coronavirus, and they came to my house this weekend. Not her friend, but Tor is in the house. Yes, he is. My mom and my dad, and my son has a cold, so I now have a cold, and I'm not super worried, but I am concerned. So I think we're gonna have to go and get tested. You know, I live in a super rural area, so I'm not super concerned because really I'm pretty isolated, and I don't go a lot of places, but it's still kind of scary, you know. My mom has she has lung problems, so as you guys know, this virus attacks the lungs. So I'm more worried for her because if she were to get sick from this, it would be really, really bad. And I'm just praying that this doesn't happen, because these are people that they are around every day. And hey John, I don't know guys, I don't even know what to say. She just called me probably about 45 minutes ago, so I have wiped the house down with bleach, and my son is sleeping, and I mean that's all I know to do. I don't know, I'm just worried, I guess. We speak periodically, but I spoke to him yesterday. 10 to 15% of all viruses are of the coronavirus. There are 50 to 100 coronaviruses country right around the world, right? I'm sorry, I'm going to go off of what I was saying and speak on that, what Noelle just said. So, I guess this really worries me because I feel that we're not being told the truth. And probably like a lot of other people, I worry and I wonder if this can actually be a man-made virus. And you know, I know there are a lot of conspiracy theories and stuff out there, and I believe that. I mean, it absolutely can be a man-made virus. I have a hard time wrapping my mind around the evil that it would take to release something like this into the population. Therefore, I struggle with accepting that that can be true. But on the same hand, no evil really shocks me anymore in the world. I hope she doesn't. She's really worried. As I said, she already has lung problems and she gets pneumonia very, very easily. My grandmother, her mother, actually died from pneumonia. She had lung problems as well, and she went into the hospital with pneumonia about 5 years ago, and she never came home. So I always worry that this will happen to my mother. And, my mother is my best friend, and I would die if something happened to her. I've actually heard that it's not that bad in South Africa. I see Noel says there's one death. I heard that there were no deaths yet. I guess, now there is. But we're going to get tested anyway, just to be on the safe side. And I don't know what else to say about it. But I wanted to let my subscribers know that I will most likely be recording with Dan Roodt for Praag I guess it'll be tonight, my time, late, and early South Africa time. And I don't think it'll be live broadcast. I don't think Dan does much of that. But it will be put up shortly thereafter. So I wanted my subscribers to go over to Praag, subscribe to Dan. I'm not sure exactly what we'll be speaking on. We discussed maybe speaking on the fact that, crime and violence have become so normalized in South Africa, and how it's gotten to this point. But I'm not exactly sure. I'll know more later on. Guys, don't be arguing. I hate that. I hate the way I look in here. It's because the sun is behind me instead of in front of me. I should have just gone outside. Whoa, there, that's better. Except for the little background noise. Is that better, guys? I feel so funny because I don't have on any makeup. It's just a woman thing. Even if you guys think I look okay, I still am not used to it. And I feel naked without my eyebrows. I don't wear a lot of makeup normally, but it's a woman thing, and I just like having on makeup. So, I'll be going on to speak with Dan. Like I said, probably tonight, either tonight or tomorrow during my son's nap time. There is also another man who has reached out to me. I forget the name of, let me see if I can find it. So I got an email this morning from a man who said he's been trying to get my attention, or get me to respond to him on Gab, and I don't check all of my messages, so I've somehow missed it. Sorry. So his name is Dino, and so he says, Brandy, I've attempted to get your attention on Gab for a little bit, but thus far I have not heard from you. I'd love to chat if possible. I'd love to host you on my show to talk about the South Africa situation and join the fight against the genocide that is ongoing. I watched your latest video. Would like to see if some of my audience can assist with getting help for you to get the book shipped out internationally to those you would like to send them to. My show is heard and watched by people in all 50 states, and people from as many as 65 different countries have been in attendance during my shows. Thank you. It's called The Dino Show at thedinoshow.com. If you guys want to go check it out. I responded to him this morning, and I told him that I absolutely would be willing to chat with him and speak further. And so, if everything works out, guys, I will be going on his show to speak about this South Africa situation. And this is a great thing because I'm assuming that his show is to reach Americans concerned with, issues all over the world happening to the white population. A lot of people are sick of this, and they want to do something. They want to help. I have this all the time. Sometimes not from the smartest people. And I don't say that as an insult. I guess it sounds bad. It's not really how I meant it, though. Let me rephrase that. So, people reach out to me who have never known anything but free speech and not having to worry about the images they portray or the things that they openly speak of. So I'm an American. I can say anything I want, and I'm not going to go to jail or be charged with treason or any of those things, right? I can speak about World War II. I can speak about Hitler. I can speak about the fact that the numbers of the Holocaust are completely false. And, this is not just my opinion. This is cited by Jewish historians who get angry at the numbers being lied about, because when you lie about the numbers, it discredits the whole, the whole thing. And just to touch on that a little bit, what happened is that the numbers of all people killed during this time, including Germans, Polish, and others, were just lumped in and added to the number of Jews. So I won't go further into that because you guys know I don't like talking about it for a reason. But my point is that I can say all of this and nothing will happen to me. I learned the other day that my friend in Canada, if she were to say simply what I just said, she can be taken to jail. Any kind of denial or attempt to make it seem less than is a jailable offense. That really shocked me because, the truth is the truth. Unfortunately, the losers don't write history. And, my ancestry is German and Dutch and Scandinavian, Irish, Scots. And, the German people have essentially become strangers in their own country. And Senior Van Rensburg spoke of this, right? He says that he sees Germany as a big black snake with a broken back, and that they remain dormant for many, many years. And he saw a white cloth covering Germany. And this white cloth to him represented the hand of God. And his words were, God never forgave the world for what it did to Germany, right? And Senior's prophecies shook the foundation of everything I believe. And what I came to understand is that it doesn't always have to be one way. So two things can be true at the same time. Just because you believe one thing doesn't mean you can't believe another thing, right? And he showed me this. And I believe every word of it. And I never believed in prophecy per se, because I believe in science. And I believe that most people who claim to be prophets are frauds. I think that prophets are very rare, few and far between, but I absolutely believe this man to be a prophet, a seer, whatever you want to call it. He knew what was coming. He saw these things, and he tried to warn people. Unfortunately, at the time, many people thought he was just a crazy old man. Now, we're watching these things unfold before our eyes. Some of us see ourselves being a part of some of these visions, and it's very emotional and just earth-shattering for me, really. But anyways, guys, where I was going with that is that these people that reach out to me and want to know how they can help, and I'm going to speak on it because I never speak on it publicly, and they don't understand. Sometimes it will be people with the best intentions, but they have, swastika avatars, or they openly say a lot of things that may or may not be true, but they don't do anything to help the situation for the people in South Africa. Actually, what it does is it does more harm than good, right? So, in order to help and to be a part of a movement to bring change and help, if you want to be taken seriously, and if you want to make an impact positively and not do more harm than good, you must be willing to put your personal beliefs aside for the good of these people. If you cannot do that, you can do nothing but harm, because these people do not have free speech. They do not have the ability to put up any image they want and not have consequences for it. If they say some of the things I say, they can be charged with treason. They can be arrested or targeted or worse. And by trying to speak for them and having these images up or speaking in a certain way, what you are doing is giving ammunition to the enemy of your people. Giving ammunition to them by giving them the ability to tell the world, see, I told you so. I told you they deserve it. They are evil, white supremacists, and they deserve it. They're not. They're absolutely not. But when you attempt to speak for these people with all of these things, you portray that onto them, and you give ammunition to the people who are calling for their slaughter. And we must never do this. And for people that don't understand, this is the reason I speak in the way that I do, and that I approach the situation very strategically and diplomatically, and I don't get roped into any kind of hate speech or anything like that, because it doesn't matter how I feel about any other people. What matters is to do no harm. And there are consequences for our words, maybe not for us, but for the people that we're speaking for. and Americans must understand that we take for granted our freedoms and the fact that we can say and do these things, and we don't realize that other people cannot. So it wasn't my intention to go into that, but I felt a need to say this because when I went on Mark's show, guys, I was called a coward in the comments because I wouldn't be roped into speaking against Israel, because Mark and Jason were joking around and trying to get me to comment on something, but I would not, because I cannot. And it doesn't matter how I feel personally. If I ever want to be taken seriously, if I ever want to be heard by the Department of State or anyone in power, I cannot do these things. If I were to do or say any of these things, I would never get the opportunity to be taken seriously by people who can actually make a difference. And I hope that you all understand this. Thank you. I appreciate the support. I deal with a lot, guys, because of things that I won't say. But really, in the grand scheme of things, they don't matter. And what's the point, You want me to speak out and bash Jews or whoever, but what does that accomplish? What does that accomplish for the white minority of South Africa? It accomplishes nothing. It actually works against what I'm trying to do. And I wish more people would realize this and approach the situation diplomatically and strategically. We have to beat them at their own game. And the only way to do that is to play their game and not be manipulated or naive to think that we can just say whatever we want, or to be selfish enough to say the things even though I'm telling you that they do harm. Yeah, don't be surprised. I get attacked very much. I was also called a monster in the comments because of my stance on traders, and if the minority was pushed into a war, forced. No one wants a war. I do not want to see a war. I know the consequences of war. I would love to, avoid a war at all cost. But I was asked my thoughts on this if forced into a war. And my response was no mercy for anyone. No man, woman, child, traitor, no one. And I was called a monster. Someone said, she literally just said, no mercy for any man, woman, or child. And Mark just went on like nothing. So I made him stop, and I explained that when the numbers are what they are, you either be willing to fight the way they fight, which is no mercy, or you die. And that's it. So do you want to live or do you want to die? And if the people are forced into a war, that's an inconvenient truth, honestly. My stream is no longer showing up in your feed. It shows that it's fine. I don't have any drop frames or anything. Ben, can you still see me? I mean, Ben. Noel. I don't know why I said Ben. Don't worry, guys. If something happens to the stream, I'll just put up the video. It's also recording. But someone let me know if you can still see me or hear me, because my stream shows that it's healthy. I don't know. Yeah, it's not showing anything. Let me look on my phone. I was gonna go on last night, guys, but I got so tired I ended up going to sleep. And another thing is, I want to thank everyone who has come onto the site and donated any amount. It's greatly appreciated, and it helps with a lot, guys. I haven't been saying anything about it. Okay, it's working. I haven't been really pushing the site or saying anything about it, but in order to be able to do these streams, I had to get a different internet. It costs me about $180 a month. And if I didn't do these streams, I wouldn't need it. And the cost for my website, I don't pay for it once a year. I pay for it once a month. Marketing, everything else. I mean, the cost is a lot. So every single person that has gone on and helped out and is able to, I greatly appreciate this. You guys are a godsend, and I wouldn't be able to keep it going without that. I've been going through some things myself. Normally it wouldn't be a problem, but as of lately, it's been really tough. So I appreciate every single person, and every single person that goes on there and donates to help with the cost of all of these things, sending out the books, helping to pay for the website and things like that. You absolutely make a huge difference, and you take a lot of stress off of me, because if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be able to keep these things going. So I want to thank everyone who has gone and made an effort. And for those who haven't and who can and who wish to, if you go to the site, ANC Sanctioned Genocide, the link is in the description. There is a donate button on the first page. There have been a couple of people donate to help me send out these books that Alice and I have to send out, but not enough to send all of them. So I could still use some help if there's anyone able. I know that people are not working and that people don't have a lot of money right now. So if we're able to get them out, we are. If not, we're just not. We just have to wait. But if there are people who can help, it is greatly appreciated. Thank you, Shock. Your previous comment also disappeared. Maybe it's a bug on your end. I'm showing a healthy stream for once. No drop frames or anything, which is rare. Please don't worry about it if you're not able to help in that way. This was not geared toward South Africans. I know that people in South Africa, for the most part, don't have the money. I also know, which I might cry talking about this, that Moody's has officially downgraded South Africa to junk status. I know that the rand right now is almost 18 to the dollar. This is very sad to me because for a country to go from the rand at one point being more than the dollar, and for the most part being equal to the dollar until the ANC took over, to be at 18 to the American dollar today. I can't think of a better reason for someone to step in and remove them from the destruction that they have already caused. Because what's next? How much further can it take before someone realizes what is coming? It makes me very sad, because it's like the whole world is just sitting back and just watching everything crumble without a care in the world for the human lives. And I speak of all good and decent people in South Africa, not just whites, but everyone who just wants to live in peace, raise a family, be able to feed the family. What's it going to take for someone to say, hey, enough is enough, and we're not going to let this go any further? Because further to me means Zimbabwe, but with a twist. And that twist is mass slaughter of people. I just can't even think about it. I mean, I guess we all knew it was coming, but it doesn't make it any easier, I'm sure, to live or to sit from afar with your hands tied behind your back and helpless and watch. And, Dan Roodt said something to me yesterday that made perfect sense. And he said, all of the people that still have really good jobs and corporate jobs and things like that, they always think that, oh, well, it's not going to affect me. And it doesn't really hit close to home, all of the things happening. And now that South Africa has been officially downgraded to junk status, the rand has tanked even further. Well, guess what? It is their problem too. And it is hitting close to home. So I think a lot of people are getting a slap in the face of reality. Even those who thought that these problems didn't affect them, now they are being affected. But I don't know. This broke my heart to see. Like I said, I knew it was coming, but that does not make it any easier. But I just... Legacy, South Africa, I hope you're right. Because I was speaking about this. Guys, I realized something. So, even the person in my life who probably respects me more than anyone in the world, who understands my mind, who respects my mind, and who knows that everything I'm saying that's happening there is absolutely the truth and is happening. Even that person, I almost got into a heated argument with them because they're trying to understand the things that are going on there. And, he's telling me, why does it cost $900,000 for a white South African to immigrate? Are there laws against, and I'm trying to explain this to him, but it's complicated. And why can we go to the UK, no problem, but they can't go to the UK, or they can't come here? I'm trying to explain this. We're American. We don't need visas to travel to most places. We just need a passport, They need visas. And to get a visa, you have to be approved. And first of all, you have to have the money to apply for the visa. And even if they do have the money to apply for the visa, it doesn't mean they're going to get the visa. And so then he's not understanding why no one in the world is doing anything. And I'm trying to explain apartheid to him. He thought apartheid was a political party. So I had to explain, no, that's the national party. Apartheid means separateness, and it was actually put into place by the British, given a name by the Afrikaner, which was a huge mistake, because now it's been used for propaganda for 30 years against this community, even though it's just a word. And there have been massive amounts of money spent on this propaganda to make the world believe lies. And it just hit me that even if the person who respects me the most in the world is having a hard time understanding all of these things and why these things are true, how the hell am I going to make anyone else understand? It made me really sad, because I felt like, oh my God, how am I we have to start getting the information out in a way that people can understand what is happening and why. And I don't have the solution to that, but I deal with the problem every day. I've been wanting to write a book. I have a publishing contract already, but I can't nail down how to be most effective and how to make people outside of South Africa be interested and want to read this. And I know it needs to go against the propaganda. And I plan to, when I figure out exactly how I'm going to write this, I plan to not only tell the truth, but to prove it, to put photos and documents and things like that in to back up everything I say is happening or is not happening. So I'm eventually going to do this, of course, with the proceeds going back to the white minority in South Africa, but I have to figure it out. I'm hoping Dan Roodt will help me with this. 4 deaths and a little over 1,100 infected. I don't know. I thought it would be a lot worse by now, guys. But anyway, I'm going to spare you guys my crying and all of this emotion. I just wanted to come on to let you guys know that I'm going to be speaking to Dan Roodt. You'll be able to watch it on his YouTube channel. You can find it at Praag, Praag. I'm not sure exactly when they will put it up. It won't be live, but we'll be recording this most likely tonight, very late my time. And once again, I would like to thank every single person who has gone onto the website and sacrificed to donate to help with everything, because I know that people don't have money right now. And it means everything to me that people are willing to help, because I wouldn't be able to keep up with everything without this help. Right now, like, I'm worrying about how I'm going to pay, for costs to do with the website. And, my internet is so expensive to keep up with all of this. But it's necessary because of the area that I live in to have this type of internet, or I wouldn't be able to live stream or do anything. So I want to thank everyone, and I will say again, if anyone has the means to help out, go to the website and you can donate on the first page. If you have a problem with the link, please email me and I'll send you the direct link. My email's in the description. And hey, Derek. So Derek, what I'll probably do is take down the live stream in case there were any drop frames or anything, and I will upload the video because it's recording. So I'll probably do that. I'll leave the live stream up. I won't take it down until I get the recording up, though, so you can watch. But thank you guys very much. Derek, go over to Dan Root's channel, Praag, Praag, and subscribe to him. I'm going to be speaking with him later on tonight, my time, very late, early morning for you guys. It won't be live, but it will be put up on his channel. So be watching for this, guys. And again, thank you. And please go and visit the site. If you haven't looked at every page, please go and look at every page, especially if you're American or from outside of South Africa, because these are things that the world needs to see. And some of it is hard to look at, but we must look at these things. And thank you guys so much. I am thinking of you. I hope that you are staying safe and staying inside so that you don't get sick. And I love and cherish each and every one of you guys, and I appreciate the support more than I could ever express in words. And I hope all of you have a good evening and sleep well. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.